Hello heroes and villains, and welcome to the Build Face channel, helping you build a better turn. My name is Danger Ford, and thank you once again for watching another video. This is week 7 of the spoiler season, and we're going to go over a little bit of news real quickly and then get right into the spoilers. So first off, I have to address the Tabletop Simulator shutdown. This news came out on May 3rd. First off, I'm just going to read a couple of statements that were made, and then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. First off, we have a statement from Ben Ruig on May 3rd. He is the creator of the mods for the Tabletop Simulator, and this is what he had to say on the Facebook Collective. Hi team, I had to remove the mods for Tabletop Simulator along with the group. Now before you get upset or anything, please understand I totally understand why I was asked to do so. I will let Mark talk about this later when he posts. As for now, the mods are no longer online and should not be used. I would recommend and insist you delete them from Tabletop Simulator. It was definitely fun making the cards and learning how to build in Tabletop Simulator, but at the end of the day, I do not own the rights to the images, names, etc., so I cannot really use them without permission. These are my words, by the way. I am a musician and love music, so I understand copyright and why it exists, so I was more than happy and no way upset to take down these mods. All the time I spend making them, think of that as my passion for this amazing game. I'm not upset either for the countless hours I put into it. Versus is the one card game I absolutely love, and the community here is awesome. I will leave some exciting news about the future of this game online to Mark Shaughnessy. But hey, I'm still around. If for some reason you make your way down to New Zealand, let me know so we can play. Who knows, maybe someday I might make it to Gen Con. Dream right there. Cheers, and I hope you understand. So next we have a statement from Mark Shaughnessy, a representative from Upper Deck. So he says, I want to thank Ben Ruig for understanding why we had to ask him to remove his tabletop mod and deck builder from Steam. Upper Deck owns the Versus System 2 PCG game. We do not own any of the character images on the cards nor the character names. These are licensed to us by Marvel and 20th Century Fox. Creation of a Versus System 2 PCG simulator that allows a player to play the game without purchasing the licensed product will be seen as a violation of intellectual property laws and will be asked to be removed. This year, we are releasing a digital app for our legendary game. It will be the first time we've stepped into the digital realm for one of our games. If it goes well, there is a chance that other games will be behind it. Okay, so there was a lot of upset people about this. It's kind of divided our community a little bit, and there's been a lot of negativity, there's been a lot of positivity, and while I will not be getting into any of my opinion on the matter because I feel like it's been beaten to death, I will state that I was a little afraid about this video channel for a little while after hearing the news. I had some very exciting ideas about trying to start up a stream for Twitch using the Tabletop Simulator as a means to recording our League games as well as just random ones. I had some ideas for using the program to run some tutorials so that we could have some really nice and concise tutorials up on the channel that beginners could take a look at. And although Mark's statement did not mention anything about Octagon, he did say in a post that there was some considerations about Octagon as well, which means that our League might possibly be in dire straits. All that being said, I will have to admit I'm a little disappointed, but by this point it's become a little dull. I think that both sides have reasonable arguments that justify their cases, and whether I lean one side or the other, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me. I come to this game to escape from reality, and if I can't do that, then what the hell's the point? So with that being said, I'm just going to look to the future. So if I can't make videos showcasing Tabletop Simulator or potentially Octagon in the future, well then my channel is just going to have to evolve, which means that maybe we'll start making actual videos. There's been some talks with user NVOT and showcasing a weekly series where we utilize his camera and talk about anything and everything Versus. That's something that I think would be really interesting to see. Another thing is I can still showcase the tutorials as long as I find some way of recording it in a fashion that is clear and concise. Maybe even just video recording myself and then putting up image overlays of the cards when I need to talk about them or specific things on them. But anyways, that just means, like I said, we have to continue to move forward. And if that means evolving a little bit, then so be it. The biggest thing that I'd like to mention is that I will will always provide content for you guys as long as this game exists. That is a promise. There may be times where it slows down, but I will always be on the lookout for new things, new ideas to create and build this community in a way that will help us thrive. And that's all I really have to say about the topic. The next piece of news that I'd like to mention to you is super exciting to me, and it is that the build phase has a new home. It's still at thebuildphase.com, but if you go there right now, you'll notice that it is completely changed from the forum that we used to have. The forum is still there, at least for the time being, but our home is now more of an article-based website, which is super exciting to me. We have some contributors in the works, and we have lots of people who will be providing new content and articles for you to read and ponder on, and it'll be mostly all versus, but we are considering branching out into other aspects. I do know that, the rest of the Build Phase crew are big fans of Star Wars Destiny and Hearthstone. We love our board games, so you might be seeing some reviews on those, as well as just more fascinating things that we think that you will enjoy. So there are links that will take you straight to the podcast episodes, as well as the video channel, yours truly, as well as a link for the League Play if you are interested in joining up, as well as contact information. And we're always providing new stuff for you, so just watch out for that. And we're really excited. If you have any feedback or anything, then we would be very happy to hear about it. We're pretty new to this stuff, so any sort of feedback is greatly appreciated, and I'm excited to see how we will evolve from here. So that's all I have as far as news goes. Let's get right into the spoilers. On Monday, May 1st, Daily Metagame released White Tiger. She is a Defenders supporting character, 2-drop, 3/3 with 2 health. She has the keyword Mystical Tiger Amulets. While White Tiger has any +1/+1 counters, she has the following. So at least 1, she gets Leap. 2, she gets Ferocious. 3, she gets Lethal. So if you have 3 counters on White Tiger, she becomes a 6/6 with 2 health with Leap, Ferocious, and Lethal. That is pretty crazy. Yet another card that works really well with Call, our favorite company character. Yeah, minus Kane. That's debatable. But I don't know if Defenders is really the home for her. We've talked a lot about how this Legacy expansion is trying to push us in the mono direction, but White Tiger does not seem like a mono card to me. I think that she seems more like a card for, say, the A-Force. I mean, just imagine this. You use Call to give her a power-up, she immediately gets Leap. You won't like her when she's angry, and already you have the 3 counters that you need to make her Leap, Ferocious, and Lethal. The Ferocious and Lethal in particular is a really great combination. So this is the kind of character that I want to create with Mr. Sinister, yet I don't need to. It's already right there. Very cool. On Tuesday the 2nd, Popper Tim and the Team Attack crew released Charlie 27. He is a Guardian of the Galaxy supporting character, 1-drop, 1/1 with 3 health. That's a lot of health. He has Jovian Strength and Combat, pay a green. Charlie 27 gains attack and defense until he is 27/27 this combat. Whoa, guys, that is crazy. This is one of the founding members of Guardians of the Galaxy, which, by the way, side note, I won't give you any spoilers, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was amazing. Please, if you haven't watched it, then go out and watch it right now. Pause this and just do it. Okay, are you back? Wasn't that awesome, guys? Like when he did the thing and there was that thing that happened and, that other thing happened because he said that one thing. Oh, and then little baby, little baby. Like I said, no spoilers, but seriously go watch it. Anyways, back to the spoilers. So as you notice, it's not an any turn combat, which means that Charlie 27 can only pay the green while he's attacking. This is a very big distinction to make. At first I thought that it was a mistake just because I'm used to seeing that any turn symbol, but it's not. And it certainly makes sense considering how high he can get. A quick distinction to make is that no matter how many +1 counters that you have on Charlie 27 when you pay the green, he's still only going going to go up to the 2727. Now, this card obviously works good early game as just your regular 1-drop. 1/1 is nothing really to write home about, but the 3 health will really help keep somebody on the board for a while. I think Charlie 27 is best used as a late turn character. He is just very good removal for any of those high drop characters that are super annoying that you need to get out of the way. I really like this card. It means that, turn 7, you could potentially play Charlie 27 and a slew of other characters that are lower drops. It could mean something along the lines of, I don't know what you would call it, maybe like a second wind of swarm characters that come out late game. At first I thought that there was another misprint, but this is no misprint, guys. That's so cool. So yeah, I think that we'll be seeing Charlie 27 a lot in the future. Next up, we here at the build phase introduced yet another founding member of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that is Martinex. He is a 3-drop with range. He has 3/5, 1 health, and he has 2 superpowers. First one being Heat Up, which during the main phase, pay a blue, stun an enemy supporting character that costs 2 or less. His second ability is called Cool Down. During the main phase, also play a blue and exhaust an enemy character that costs 4 or more. It can't ready until after your next turn. So yeah, these are some really interesting cards. This one seemed to generate quite a bit of a mix of opinions on the collective. Some people thought he was really good, some people thought he was really horrible. I really like the guy. I think that he has a few different abilities that other characters have, namely his Heat Up works kind of like Electro or Yondu, or maybe like a combination of the two put together, and Cool Down is kind of like Iceman, except it's not an appear ability. There is a paywall behind it, but what I like about Martinex is that all of these abilities are on one card, which means that you don't have to run all of these other different characters if you really wanted to. You can just run him and you'll have less cards in your deck, and he'll be more of a tech card that has good utility at any point in the game, except for that one little window where it's turn 3. I thought that was kind of odd. It's turn 3, Martinex cannot do anything. Well, I suppose he can still heat up, but he can't do cooldown, which is just a silly thing to consider. But yeah, I really think that this card could be utilized just like Charlie 27. He works good late game. You bring Charlie 27 and Martinex out, and you can do some pretty fascinating stuff with the guys. Moving on, the Scoop UK crew released on Thursday Starhawk, yet another Guardian of the Galaxy founding member. He is a 4-drop, and he has flight and range. He's a 4/4 with 2 health. He has the keyword One Who Knows. You may look at the top card of your deck at any time. You may recruit characters and play equipment and plot twists from the top of your deck. That is so cool, guys. I feel like this card was made for me. If there's anything that I notice whenever I use Kane, I always reveal cards, and the next 2 cards that I would have normally drawn would have been the perfect card that I would have needed for my curve, or the perfect plot twist, or a wild location, something that would have helped me immensely. But since I had to use Kane, that means that I have to shuffle those cards, and now I don't know what's coming up. Well, Starhawk, I feel like you were made for me. Thank you so much. Now I know what's underneath that one card. It's basically like giving you a extra card in your hand. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. It could work really well for a plethora. I mean, it works really well for everyone, really, but it's a way of knowing if Onslaught will trigger something really good. It's a way of knowing what you're going to be getting, say from Doctor Strange whenever he spends the blue to draw a card. It's just really good utility. Keep in mind though, it says recruit characters, play equipment, and plot twists. So that means that you can't use a location to spend a superpower. It means that you can't use the location to put in your resource row. So it is a little bit limited, but still, knowing more information always helps. Okay, and then the last one is a big one, guys. Upper Deck Blog on Friday released a level 2 and level 3 version of Kingpin. This is something that was speculated ever since we saw Nebula in the A-Force expansion, which if you don't know what she does, she gets +3/+3 when your main character is evil and is a level 2 or higher being the keywords there, meaning that we had an assumption that we would be getting level 3 main characters someday. Well, here it is. So when you level up Kingpin for the first time into level 2, you get the choice to level him up to a level 2 from the old expansion, or you can level him up to his level 2 from the new one. And from there, you'll notice that instead of having a second superpower for your level 2, instead he has yet another level up condition. And in the case of Kingpin, it's the exact same level up condition that he had on his first card, which means that you would have to have 7 resources in your resource row before Kingpin would level up into his level 3. The other distinction that you should notice is that he becomes a 7/7 instead of his other level 2, making him a 5/7. So already you're getting a much more amped up level 2 character. Honestly, I don't see why you would ever want to use the other character unless there's some super crazy combo that'll work with the original character's level 2 ability. So once you do level up to level 3, what do you get? You get a Kingpin who gains an extra health. He turns into an 8/9 instead of a 7/7, and he gets a level 3 superpower, which is to take over the world, and it's during the main phase. Pay a blue, yellow, and red, and search your deck and KO pile for any number of locations and put them into your resource row. Now we see that Kingpin has a ramp up condition. It's something, at first I read the card wrong and I thought that this would work really well with an aliens deck where you were using the amplify abilities to discard, and then you could use his level 3 to gain all of those resources back. But if all of those resources are in the KO pile, then how are you going to use his level 3 ability? I think Kingpin is going to be a really interesting card moving forward, so I'm really excited to see this happening. It's a mechanic that I did not think that we'd be getting, but I'm so happy that it's actually here. So again, Legacy releases on May 24th. You can pre-order it at your local gaming store, and there is about 18 days left as of today, so get on it, guys. So those are your spoilers for this week. I'd like to thank you again for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so and spread the word. If you have any comments or feedback, then please leave a message down below, or if you'd like to get a hold of us, either myself or anybody else in the BuildFace crew, then you can reach us at contactus@thebuildface.com. Check out that new website. We're going to be bringing you some new content, hopefully on a weekly basis. That'll be hopefully one of your main stops for all your versus needs. Okay, so this has been Danger Ford. Thanks again. Have a good week.